Please sit down. Ang hirap maging artista. All right, so my journey was really very overwhelming. Why am I here right now? It started in 2019. This was the public hearing when the government wants to push for the Philippine Innovation Act. And there were this group of inventors. I saw Sir Jun Catan, I saw Sir Archie, and some of the guys. But several years ago, I really wanted to be part of the inventors. It's just that I don't know where to find them. So apparently in that event of the IRR, public hearing, I raised my point. So I stand up and raise my point to everyone that tech or technology is not only about AI, Internet of Things, or machine learning. The brick and mortar business should also be part of the technology. And thus, the attorney or the lawyer of Sani Angara, yung Tatak Pinoy, mentioned on the mic that, yes, I agree with the lady in red. And I think because of that, Sir Archie Melano caught the attention and he persuaded me to be part of the so-called inventors group. And that public hearing, the Philippine Innovation Act, is now known as the Republic Act 11293, and this was signed as a law by President Duterte last April of 2019, and this is when I am now destined to be serendipity, to become one of the executive members of the National Innovation Council representing the scientific community. I could have not been here if because of the trust that was given to me by my fellow inventors, which I've known from 2019. And thus, as I tell you guys, I will always use all my experiences, specifically being a startup. A startup is the same as the bloodline of the inventors. I will definitely be bringing on the table with the President of the Philippines all the kinds of challenges that the inventors are now facing right now. And this morning, I swear the oath in front of the President, right after immediately that very short oath-taking is the first meeting that I have attended. And this meeting, this council, is composed of 25 members, where the President of the Philippines is the President, the Secretary of NEDA as the Vice Chair, consists of 16 secretaries plus 7 executive members. And thus, I am, or my voice, is co-equal of that of a secretary. So therefore, guys, in this meeting alone, I have to tell you that the President is very serious about personally heading this Innovation Council, because innovation is the only way that we can reach inclusive economic development. The NIC is the highest governing body on policy on innovation, on top of all the government agencies that we have. We are mentioning about DTI, DOST, DA, DENR, including Vice President Sara Duterte is also part of the council. We are supposed to harmonize all the segregated initiatives of various organizations and institutions in the Philippines. The NIC will set the direction. We call it the NIASD, the National Innovation Agenda Direction. And apart from that, the NIC is tasked to manage, to administer the so-called Innovation Fund. And for the last 2 years, since it was instituted, the fund is only for government institutions. That's why DOST Kaisar, my friend, is telling us that DOST themselves are asking funds from NEDA. But we will push and we will move that in the coming years, funding of NEDA, the so-called Innovation Fund, must be readily available to all MSMEs. And I would like to end or to finish my talk by simply reading the vision statement that bring me on top of the hierarchy of all the nominees in the Philippines. I am proudly saying that we, two women, one as a vice president of the academic affairs of UP, and me from Mapua University, topped the ranking. Well, that's by law, one of the NIC executive member must be a woman. And NEDA doesn't have any problems at all because the women top over the men. Okay. So, I just would like to read this verbatim because in the next 3 years, and I hope that I can still have another 3 years, it depends, no? The maximum seat for an NIC is 6 years. But I do hope that I can really have that 6 years, and I have contemplated what I wanted to happen as an NIC. So reading my vision statement, considering my personal journey as an award-winning scientist, inventor, engineer, academician, patent professional, entrepreneur, science communicator, as tag as the feminine genius, ASEAN designer, and a woman in science, with 30 years of experience that paved the way for me to be considered as one of the country's faces of innovation and a brave tech startup founder. I have the very raw experience in knowing the needs of those in the innovation space. In the academe, notable challenges are schools to unlikely invest in startup structures and resources, including scarce innovation mindset of the mentors. This resulted into a so-called teaching employee mindset concept. There is the difficulty of the scientists to cross over the border from the laboratories to entrepreneurship, and the lack of collaboration and intellectual property knowledge that resulted into most of the projects just kept inside the library. On the other hand, there are the Filipino inventors from about 20 organizations nationwide with only about 2,000 members who are considered to be rare species. And thus, there is a need for us to populate the kinds of our breeds. Maybe the inventors are minority in numbers, but they are catalysts for technological advancement. Thus, there is a need for the representation in the NIC to breed and to populate the inventors. Their obstacle is also mainly on R&D partnerships and funds. Worsening the situation is the inferior branding of the Filipino invented products due to non-adoption of the local market or industry sector. Ayaw nila ng tatak Pilipino. When it comes to funding, the process is complex and long. It took me a year to get my fund from DOST. And this is highly competitive because there are only limited grant allocation. Therefore, my agenda prioritizes economic progress that will leverage intersectoral engagement through science and technology, engineering, assimilation of the creatives, culture, and the arts. And to achieve this, I will enhance the science technology agenda to build a sustainable startup ecosystem. I believe that Filipino scientists, inventors, or even students of STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics are inherently innovative and inventive. However, for our country to capitalize on our people's creative and potential, we will need to enhance our programs to support commercialization of our output, engender engender entrepreneurial mindset, implement data-driven approaches for policy development. With these three strategic points, I will push that we will soon be to herald the first real Filipino unicorn. A Filipino unicorn is a startup venture with $1 billion valuation. This will be a contribution for economic recovery through research, innovation, and commercialization. And some of the initiatives are my priorities. These are my priorities. Number one, enticing incentive program for the scientists, entrepreneurs, industry adopters, and universities. Create an investors marketplace so that everyone has equal opportunity to funding. Easy access to funders to provide protection to scientists against capitalism. Craft the simplest grant endowment process, ease of doing business, and accreditation processes for new technologies. Review and impose the Procurement Act on the exemption from bidding of any projects using Filipino inventions. Require banks to accept intellectual properties as collateral. Furthermore, create a law that mandates corporate entrepreneurship responsibility, or CER. This is where big companies support startups, big supporting the small, supporting the inventors group and universities to propel innovation, plus the big role of the local government units. This is the Units Investment and Promotion Center of each of our LGUs to work with the universities and with the inventors organizations to have priority investment allocations, provide innovation hub, and collect data to track emerging industries. And definitely, the fight, the voice is here. Let's take this to our advantage. And of course, I will start the change from the people nearest to me. And these are the people, the inventors, and the scientists, and the academic community. So thank you very much, everyone.
Once again, let's start to the woman of the hour, Dr. Ria.
Sis, congratulations, and so proud of you. We love you so much.
Hello, Mother Earth! Congratulations sa iyong achievements. So, we are always here for you, and God bless.
Hi, Mom. Congrats. I'm always proud of you. Remember that. Love you.
It's a major event to have a lady engineer honored to be part of a distinguished group of innovators in the country.
Congratulations, Doc Ria!
Congratulations, Mom. I'm so proud of you for everything you have
Hi,
achieved.
Ma. Congratulations for getting this achievement. So I'm really proud of you.
So maraming salamat po dahil po sa inyong mga scientists, kayo pong mga innovators, kayo pong mga inventors kung bakit po napapadali ang aming buhay. Palakpakan po natin.
Ma'am Ria, congratulations for your another milestone as appointed by the President as Executive Member of the National Innovation Council. Congrats again.
Congratulations, Doc Ria. Malayo na narating mo, Doc Ria, and I'm very proud of you.
Tonight is a really memorable evening. I'm very happy to know that we have really successfully, and I like to congratulate Dr. Risa Canlas for having been appointed as the National Inventors Coordinator. That is a big honor for us all, fellow inventors and our friends.